Okay, let me prove to you once again that the Power 40 scientific trading method beats all other methods in accuracy of projections. I want to show you this our powerful tool that we use all the time, and then I want you to see how effectively it makes a forecast or projection that went not just 100% but beats all odds of projections. From when we noticed the upscaling of the price of gold, we also upscaled our tools to fit into the new metrics for gold price projections. And right now, here was the most recent I did. I showed you this also in the last screenshot. Okay, let me just take us back to those screenshots so that you see what I'm referring to. Okay, so this was the last screenshot of the same level and the projection that was done on it. So there is a level down here at 4483 from where the bounce was expected. Now this was the first level that was projected before the move happened. Now this is after the move had happened, the first move that happened at that level from 4516. So let's look at where that move started from. Let's just go back. Okay, so this was before the initial move. I did this projection asking that if you look at the arrows here, there is the arrow that points downward. Okay, the arrow pointed down to, you see here, the price was at 4546, and then we projected that the price will need to first come back down, okay, before adding the triangle tools or the pyramid tools, okay, that the price needs to come back down and then bounce on 4516. We have the level there drawn at 4507. Okay, so here nothing had happened yet as at the time of this projection. If you see, all our arrows we are pointing to getting back price above 455. all right, so now we expected that price will come back down to 4516 and then bounce on 4516 first. That is the first level where we expect the bounce from. So if you see there, the first arrow is pointing upward from 4516. Then we are also expecting price to come below 4516 to 4483. All right, so but that will happen only after the first scenario of price bouncing on 4516, and that was exactly what happened. So let's look at the first scenario here. This was price touching 4516. Okay, you see the bearish candles here. Let's look at it from here. You see these first two bearish candles that came down. The first rejection here is at 4516 and then it bounced up. Okay, that was the first level from where we are projected and going all the way up to 4576, and then from there the price came back down. So that is where the price was coming back down. All right, and the journey took the price back down to 4483. So that is what we have on the chart here. So going back to see how that happened, this is the level we are referring to, 4583. This was the candle. Okay, this was the first move that I showed you, and this is the bounce on 4516. Okay, this is the first move that went up after bouncing on 4516. At this point we have added our projection tool. This is our price sequence tool. All right, so price sequence allows us to project price move for up to 3000 pips. So now this was price going up first after the first projection. Okay, after the first projection, let's look at that correctly. So price came here, returned to 44. Let's look at it. Returned to 4540. Okay, and then went all the way up to 45. Look at it, 4580, and then return back down, coming into the same zone. You see the zone here. So this first zone was created, now it is tested, and this was the first bounce. This is the second rejection. You see that rejection from 4516 to 4553. Now we still have this level, and the last level down that has not been tested. This is the 4484. So this is a level for which we are expecting to buy and hold, okay, for the next 3000 pips. So let's see if that level was finally tested. This is price coming down, and here price did not get yet to the level. Here price hasn't got to the level. So you see, then finally price got to the level with this candle. You see this candle here, and this is the level here. So price gets to the level and bounces. So from this point, we are expecting the first move is a price we get here. Let's look at where price needs to get to. Let's measure it. So price needs to get to 4633 first. So let's look at when price got to 4633 and how it reacted to 4633. Let's look at it the first time. Okay, so this is the first time. Price gets to 46, okay, and beats 4633. Look at 4633 here. Price has beat it, okay, then returns back to test and reject it. This is the rejection. Now price is going to do what we call arrow. All right, so we call it fib arrow first. So 4633 is the fib arrow. Once price breaks 4633, the next thing is to expect arrow, okay, and then we expect triple arrow. So this is price bouncing on the first arrow. It will get to 4643 next. Okay, so let's look at when price gets to 4633 to 4733. So let's look at when price gets to 4733, how it reacts also to 4733. So look at price has got to 4733. You can see the reaction here. This is our arrow. You see how price immediately reaching 4733 it reacts, okay, and since then it continues to react at 4733. This is our levels, okay, and no break above it yet. So price stayed below it but does not go back to 4633. Now we want to see price go above that to the next arrow, that's triple arrow, from 4633, from 4733. This is the first break above it successfully, and price moved all the way to 4763. It turns back below it and then finally goes again, breaks it, okay, comes back, tests and rejects it, comes back again. This is above it, and all these were rejections. Price bounced on it. So the last arrow is 4833. Let's see how price gets to 4833 if price gets there. So here price reaches 4793, no 48 yet. Next price gets to 4800 and drops. Okay, so price did complete 2 arrow, okay, that's 2000 pips, and gets to 4800, did not get to 4833, and then it drops. You can see that, right? So this started from where? 4483. That's the first point. Let's go back and see where it started from. So I will now calculate the total move if it reaches 3000 pips. So this is the first move, 4483. We will have 45, okay, 46 and 4783. That will be the complete profit on this levels entry. You see, right? So 4883, that will be the complete 3000 pips, while the circle is expected to reach 4833. So 4784, let's see. So that is it, 4783. That is it here. Here, this is it, 4783. This is where price is engaging. Okay, that's where price is engaging. You see that, right? That's where price is engaging, and all these rejections are around that level before price drops down below it. Okay, so price gets to the full 3000 pips projection, and this is only when you are trading with our Power 40 scientific trading method. All right, and now it comes back down. Then let's see, from there we are seeing recovery at 46. It has already gone all the moves to 48. Then this is a 469, and finally for the Easter holidays. All right, so I showed you all the proofs on trading from 5th of March, 9th of March, 27th of March, and lastly on the 30th of March. Okay, was when this projection was done. Okay, right, on the 30th of March was when this projection was done, and I showed you the screenshot, and now you have seen the final outcome. This is how consistently profitable our methods are, the Power 40 scientific trading method. And this is why those who commit to their staking options in the PSL Luxury Lifestyle brand or PSL Co-work Network using the Cash Swap A1 community, okay, DIY/DFY stake options, are able to make profits with us that generates the weekly payout or the monthly returns. So if you are not yet in the PSL, you might not be benefiting from this method because it's only in PSL that we use this method, and this method is not sold out to anyone else except in the PSL trading community. So don't miss out from this consistently profitable setup provided using the Power 40 scientific trading method. Join PSL now.
Hello everyone, and welcome to one of the most inspiring and strategically empowering conversations we have had in the PSL Co-work Network series. I am Francis Bestman Isugu, lead founder and chief steward of PSL Luxury Lifestyle brand. The ecosystem intentionally built to deliver shelter with the Fed luxury housing that frees families from endless rent traps, professional clothing without the humiliation of financial inadequacy, nutritional security that removes daily survival anxiety, and dignified, predictable income through training that pays from the very first cycle. If you have ever looked at your life and wondered how some people seem to build sustainable empires while others keep rising only to fall back, or if you feel you have the potential to do more but lack the right systems and support, thank you for being here with an open and ambitious heart today. Our focus is expanding on optimal success stories. Real examples of people who have moved from struggle or stagnation into sustained, leveraged growth by finding their best fit in PSL. Let us first ground ourselves in the archetype. An optiman is not born overnight. They emerge when someone decides to stop struggling alone and start building with intelligent leverage, the right team, and compounding systems. An optiman has moved beyond the rise and fall circle. They have people who execute on their behalf. Goals are set and achieved with relative ease because structures work for them. They live many levels ahead of most of their original plans. Their new calling shifts from personal climbing to elevation of others. Wealth and influence explode not just through their own effort, but through the number of maximums and minimums they intentionally lift. Here are expanded, richly detailed optimal success stories that illustrate how PSL makes this transformation possible. Our first story, from maximum grind to optimal empire builder. Meet Chinedu, a 38-year-old former maximan who spent years running a small logistics business in Abuja. He was the classic rise and fall archetype, hard-working, ambitious, with clear goals on the horizon. But every time revenue picked up, unexpected vehicle repairs, fuel price spikes, or client payment delays would pull him back to zero. He operated completely alone. No reliable team, no leverage, constant stress. Capital was tied up for months with uncertain returns. He was many levels away from his dream of financial freedom and family security. Chinedu joined PSL as a DIY stakeholder, drawn by the weekly 45% gains and the sense of control. Within 6 months, he realized he was still grinding solo. He made the strategic shift to DFY auto staking. PSL's expert team and algorithm took over execution, while he sponsored the training of professionals to work on his behalf. His monthly payout started at a modest level, and through consistent compounding and scaling from 36 to 144 stakes, he grew dramatically. Within 11 months, his initial $40,000 stake had generated approximately $65,000 in realized value. He renewed the original stake and continued compounding, turning what was once exhausting solo effort into autopilot growth. Today, Chinedu is a true optiman. He has built a small but growing team of professionals funded through his stakes. He no longer chases clients or worries about breakdowns. His stakes work for him. More importantly, he has begun lifting other maximans by mentoring them into PSL and supporting their first stakes. His wealth is compounding not only financially but through the network and impact he is creating. He now accesses priority shelter, options, professional styling for himself and his wife, and food security that gives his family peace of mind. Chinedu often says, "I stopped trying to rise alone. PSL gave me wings that don't get wet in the rain." Our next story, the Optiman who scaled from Optiman to legacy builder. Amina, a 42-year-old entrepreneur from Port Harcourt, entered PSL already operating at a high level. She had a successful fashion boutique and was what we would call an emerging optiman. She had systems, some staff, and consistent income, but she felt capped. Growth required more capital, more time, and more risk than she wanted to carry alone. She started with DFY staking at a significant level, and in her first month, scaled aggressively to 144 stakes after seeing the power of done-for-you leverage. Her monthly payout quickly rose from $5,088 to over $13,099 within 6 months of compounding. Over the next 5 payout cycles, she systematically liquidated 20% monthly while renewing her core stake, realizing $65,000 plus in just 11 months. She then renewed and continued the compounding cycle year after year, turning net profits into larger stakes that generate even higher monthly returns. Amina did not stop at personal wealth. As a true optiman, she began intentionally supporting maximans around her, funding their first DFY stakes, mentoring them into the ecosystem, and helping several transition into promotion partners. Today, she has helped create multiple hub-level opportunities and is actively contributing to the 4 core values departments. Her family enjoys the Fed luxury housing priority, professional styling programs, and nutritional security that removes all survivor stress. Amina's story shows that optimans don't just grow richer, they grow more impactful. Her wealth is exploding through the number of people she is elevating. Our next story, the quiet optiman who found freedom through strategic scaling. Emeka, a 45-year-old civil servant in Lagos, was a classic maximan, trapped in a stable but limiting salary job. He had ambition and clear goals for his children's future, but his salary could never bridge the gap to the life he envisioned. He joined PSL cautiously as a small DFY stakeholder. Within weeks, he saw the difference between solo efforts and leverage system. He scaled methodically, increasing stakes as returns compounded. His journey followed the exact optimum pattern, starting small, recognizing the power of PSL's team and algorithm, then raising stakes aggressively while maintaining discipline. His monthly payouts grew steadily through compounding. Within the first year, he achieved the kind of financial breathing room that allowed him to reduce work stress and focus on family. He now supports several younger maximans by funding their initial stakes and guiding them into DFY. Emeka has become known in his community as a quiet optiman who helps others rise without fanfare. His access to the 4 core values has transformed his household. Stable income, proper housing security, and peace of mind that no salary alone could provide. These stories are not exceptions. They represent the natural progression when someone finds their best fit in PSL and leverages the system strategically. Miniman becomes promoter and rises to hub manager. Maximum moves from solo DIY to scaled DFY with team support. Optiman compounds aggressively and shifts focus to lifting others, creating exponential impacts. The unfair advantage is clear. While your equals continue grinding in traditional businesses with slow ROI, high risk, and constant operational stress, you operate with preserved capital, fixed monthly returns on a level playing field, professional equation and execution, and direct access to the 4 core values. You rise faster, fall less often, and build meaning that extends beyond your own life. The question for you today is simple but powerful. Which archetype best describes you right now? And what is your next strategic move in PSL to gain that unfair advantage? Assess yourself honestly, then send your current type, miniman, maximan, or optiman, along with your name to WhatsApp 0810-2427-303. We will guide you personally to the customized level and path that fits you perfectly and accelerates you to the next stage with leverage, team support, and compounding that most people never access. Don't remain where the odds are stacked against you. Stop nesting on the wrong tree. Choose PSL today and gain the unfair advantage that turns equals into those you eventually elevate. Build big, live well, move fast together. Thank you for reflecting on these optimal success stories with me. If any of them resonated or sparked hope in you, share this video with someone who needs to see what is possible when you find your best fits. I look forward to receiving your message and helping you write your own optimal success story in PSL.